Hello, I'm here in a park again with some updates about the How to Make an Album series. So in the last few weeks I had some setbacks because I just realized the money's running out sooner rather than later, and so it made me quite stressed about just what I'm gonna do for the near future. So I started looking for jobs and all kind of nonsense. Just here with some horses. That's not to say I'm not gonna do the album series. It's just maybe gonna take a little bit longer to figure out how I'm gonna do it. So here's some reflections about the next steps of the process. I mean, I haven't finished, like I said, the song breakdowns. I still have basically 2, maybe 3 songs to cover, but I thought, why not talk about the next steps already and then try to put my thoughts in order, because my plan for this section of the project was basically talk about the concept of the album, talk about the intention behind it somehow, and then start delving into each song and recording them one by one and making a video each time, and sort of this way, bring attention to them, showcasing them in a bit cooler way, and also of course making progress and eventually having all the songs ready for release. But seeing as time is quite limited, that might be both an advantage and a disadvantage. So one key reflection I thought before I delve into the album concept is that basically the way I did it before, where I really had a clear deadline for each song, was basically I didn't have so much time to overthink things, and I had to make quick decisions and record what came out and make use of my strengths, creating creative solutions within the limited scope for each song. And then every time I had a bigger song that would take a little bit longer than a week, I would give it 2 weeks, but any more than that, it usually resulted in I never finish it. So the last few songs that I did after Weekly Beats that didn't have this time constraint progressed really slowly, and then I always play them in open mics in different parts of the process, so they weren't finished, but I was already performing them, and that helped a lot. But it also meant I don't even have a good recording of them some of the time, and it's in stark contrast to some of the early songs where I only had the first take that became part of the album I put out, because somehow I didn't feel comfortable spending all this time re-recording everything and just having new versions rather than improved versions somehow. Like, I thought if I simply put them out, I can always make another version like I would if I work them over, and then I can just have 2 versions. Of course, that time never came, so eventually I still have these initial versions with the option to do more. So, like I said, the concept for this series was to delve into the production of these songs, and the fact that I had previously done this weekly run, where really it was in the weekend, I had 2 days more or less to create and finish each song, except maybe the ones with lyrics. I would kind of write them over a little bit longer, but then I would still finish them and record and have a version in a week. So having that clear deadline and that forced me to make decisions and finish. And I think that's where this project didn't go so well so far, because I spent so much time thinking about what I could do with less limits, just because I don't have a time pressure. I can just choose to do a song in the entire month or whatever until it's done, But then clearly I don't even get started. I don't even let alone finish. So I think that's something that maybe this time pressure that I'm getting because I really need to get a job or do something, work for money instead of this YouTube stuff. I think this can really be a blessing in disguise because I kind of have to decide. So, of course, this kind of means that for my perfectionist brain, you know, I'll end up maybe doing stuff less perfect, and that's annoying because it would be nice, you know, to do it really good, to make the perfect choice, the perfect song, the perfect production on each song. Yeah, but that's not the thing. That doesn't even exist. What's the perfect song? Every song that's good has some kind of limitation, and I mean, even the geniuses of geniuses would still make just a song. And then you hear another song that maybe you like better on another day. So at the end of the day, it's stupid to pursue that. But when you have unlimited time, you're thinking in terms of potential, not in terms of what it is. So you're thinking that you could make that perfect song. So you're not making any decisions because maybe you're gonna get a better idea. So you don't want to spend time on the imperfect idea. So that's gonna be my approach now to actually reject perfection and reject the pursuit of the ultimate version, and actually just try to do them as I can and do them snappy so that I can move on with my life. I don't know. So quick overview of my current songs that I'm considering for the album. We got Video Games. There's a song about escapism and running away from real life and spending time on video games, but then feeling like you're making progress there, but not in real life. Then you realize in real life you're just trying to play real life as a game. So that's one song. Then we got Duckweed, recorded and inspired by this park that I'm in, about a alternative life that's passing by, and this kind of melancholic feeling that it might evoke when you're thinking about all the possibilities you didn't take. We got Pursuit of Love, which is plain and simple, trying to remind you that love exists and is a good thing. Then we have Just As You Are, a little bit more rhythmical and happy-go-lucky song that tries to convince you that it's okay to keep doing what you're doing and everything will be okay. And also about finding love. Then we move on to the more piano-focused songs. So we have Dreams. It's a long song about dreams and about growing old and about change in life as you go old, and about remembering hope and believing in dreams. Well, yeah. I have Hold My Hand, the epic story song with weird lyrics that are kind of nonsense but border on politics and love and religion and weird themes like that, and that gives some kind of a back and forth love and need and desperation feel. And yeah, hard to know about that one, what to say really. I guess you just have to hear it. Then we have I Don't Care, or no. Then we have I Only Care About You, which I haven't made in a video yet, but I have some renditions of it, which is simply a love song. And kind of a funny one in a way. Then we have If It Comes to War, plain old sad war song that's about feeling a bit desperate, reminding people about war. It's kind of a depressing song, I guess. But that's the point. Somehow feels important in these times. Then we have Falling in Love, which is kind of a wild card love song about AI. I don't know if it fits the theme of this album as it is now, because maybe it's a little bit too much about this one experience and weird well, I don't know, it is a little bit abstract and funny too, so, and you can apply it to almost any love story as well in a modern age. It doesn't have to be about AI, but it is partly. And I think that's it. I maybe forgot one or two or whatever, but basically those are the songs. So maybe you can think of what theme makes sense for you and leave a comment before you hear my interpretation, and then maybe it can be interesting to compare, because I don't know if I have the right approach to creating the concept for this album out of these songs. And remember, this process is about, you have a bunch of songs, then you make an album. It's not about writing the song specifically for a concept. I think that would be a different project that I would also want to do, but it might take a little bit more involvement, because writing the songs would be an extra big step, and each song might take a good chunk of time to develop. So that's for another series. So back to the original project. The concept is sad songs for no tomorrow, and some of you might know me and might know that I've been play testing this idea for a while in different concerts and different instances. And the story of this phrase came, or the story of this title came to me sort of as a phrase at first. I had the idea, sad songs for no tomorrow, as a kind of a catchy, extreme sad way to look at things, and seeing how some of my songs are fairly hopeful, some of them are introspective and sort of about personal thoughts and difficulties about dealing with the world, or hopes and dreams that I might have. I thought it's a funny way to put an umbrella term over them. And so by choosing sad songs for no tomorrow, I'm just giving them a context. So the moment you start with the album, you know this is kind of the angle. And then maybe if you hear a song that might have to do with finding love or whatever, it gets a new meaning than if you just heard it in a compilation called Love Songs, let's say, or something like that. So I thought it gives a new twist, gives a new context, puts them all in this theme about tomorrow, you know, about the future and about a progression, because then somehow when the songs have a different theme, they create a narrative that might happen over time, and the development in the story structure somehow. So if I start with some love songs, then end with some sad songs, then it really feels like, well, if I start with some love songs and end with some war songs, it makes it feel very sad, like the progression went from good to worse. But if I switch it and start with some war stuff and end with some love songs, it's like the world is getting better, maybe, or is a response to war, something like that. So the order basically gives a lot of context to the story, is what I'm thinking. And yeah, if I think about the theme, sad songs for no tomorrow, I guess there's not really one song that really encompasses this theme and treats it very clearly, philosophically, whatever, lyrically. So I guess what would be nice is actually to make a new song that specifically delves into this topic and covers most of the themes, or is the key song. I'm not sure which one is the key song. I don't know if an album needs that, but sometimes can be nice. So with Sad Songs for No Tomorrow, it's also an opportunity to express a little bit something about the world through these seemingly unrelated songs. And this is important to me just because I like to say something that feels important, that feels like maybe can resonate and inspire people through my music and my creations. And been thinking about this ever since I got some advice from a friend who's the festival director of Amaze. He said, don't make something cool or crazy, make something strong. So ever since then, a few years back, I've been thinking, what the hell am I doing? I'm making funny stuff, but none of it is strong. So I've been trying to make strong things, whatever that means. So I've been trying to think, what does that even mean? And that's where I came up with, it has to be a little bit political. It has to say something about deep feelings and about things that really irks me, things that really make me wanna scream inside, things that I care about and maybe other people can resonate. And talking about, real passionate things. So in that way, I think a lot about tomorrow, and in the general sense, what that means, the future and the world we're leaving behind for our kids. I don't have any kids, but for our future generations, and even for me at an old age, I'm part of that future world that's gonna be quite, it's quite at risk of being corrupted and crappy if we don't take care of it. And so that's what I want to transmit with it if I can. And that's where I feel Sad Songs for No Tomorrow. It's such a nice encapsulation of all that, because it is a little bit funny how it's for no tomorrow, and it's like, why make them if it's not gonna happen? Well, it's the musician's answer to every problem. Make a song about it. And I guess the artist's answer to every problem is just express it in art, and then magically it gets changed or gets better. Yeah, I hope it's not too incoherent and also too dizzying that I'm riding my bike and talking at the same time. I promise I'm safe and nobody's around to be in any danger except for myself and maybe a small insect on the road, but that's unlikely and I usually avoid them. So anyway, those are the quick thoughts about the album theme. So to conclude, I'm not sure how to feel about. So to conclude, I'm in a pretty weird position now, because I'm not sure about continuing this series or doing job search, or what should I do? Maybe make a game, try to sell it, make some money. Ooh, this stinks. But yeah, getting into the studio. That's not the studio, by the way. But now I have to make these friggin' songs. And I've just been postponing it. I've just been thinking, what should I do that's more productive? Maybe I should continue the series, but it doesn't bring anything. I need a job. I've just been stressing out. So that's where I'm coming from. That's where this series is taking a little bit. It's taking a little bit slower progress. But I'll try to keep going with it, especially since I don't really have anything better to do, or I have potential projects, but this is a real project, so at least I have that. I guess I have other real projects too. Don't blast me, collaborators, you know who you are. But yeah, I'm gonna start, and we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted, and I hope this progress is gonna be interesting, because it sure is unclear to me what's what level of quality this will result in. And it's a little bit scary now, because I mean, yeah, what if the album turns out to be quite mediocre? Then this whole series is a candidate for deletion and a big waste of time. So feeling pretty weird about that. All right, I'm gonna head back home and actually start working. So thank you for watching, and I hope this insight was interesting and entertaining. At least I can provide at this delicate times. All right, peace. Oh yeah, so just for you non-believers, you can see in real time me finding a 4-leaf clover. So I'm not gonna pick it up this time. I'll leave it for somebody else to get lucky. But that's a talent I inherited from my mom. She finds these like nothing. Okay, back to the content.